Hello everyone, DM Johnny here from Dungeons & Dice, and today we're going to go over 5, more like 8 if you count the attachments, homebrew Star Wars themed items, because hey, Star Wars Jedi Survivor just came out. Let's get started.
Get it on!
Okay, number 1 is the easy one, right? Like the lightsaber, but we're not going to call it that. We'll call it the elemental saber, and hold this up basically as an action, speak the action word I should say, not an action, free action, to make the saber bzz. And depending on what color it is, that's the type of damage it does. So like red and orange is fire damage, and that's the type of elemental gem that is put into the saber's hilt. So if you want ice, you know, you get, or if you want blue, then you go ice. If you want white, then you go like lightning or something. Obviously it's up to the DM's discretion of like what color does what, though like I said, red is basically fire. And if you want to switch these crystals out, you need to use tinker tools or blacksmithing tools or find someone that actually knows how to do it. And it takes like an hour to swap the crystals. And what I would do with this, it is a +1 magical weapon, obviously. And I would basically like make the kind of base elements of like fire, ice, lightning, and that's about it. That'd be like my +1s, and then to the more advanced elements or even like divine and necrotic damage, I would go like +2, +3. But that's down the line, right? I like this because you could just keep the saber and just replace the crystal and get different benefits. Now, of course, just having a +1 plus whatever weapon's kind of boring, so you need to have the lightsaber throw as well, or the elemental saber throw. And for this, it's a DC. You can make the dexterity check what you want. I have it as a 15 because it's supposed to be a powerful enough weapon, and it's 3d8, and then if it's a +2, you add another d8, and then if it's a +3, you add another d8, so it could top out at 5d8, and it goes in a 20-foot line, and then it returns to the user. So it's 3d8, 4d8, 5d8, depending, plus a dexterity check to basically take half. Or no, I have it so you take 0. Like if you dodge, you do the flip over it, like Darth Maul style, that's it. And then one more thing, as a reaction, you can up to your proficiency modifier, you can basically parry to add 2 AC for 1 attack. It doesn't even last till the start of your next turn. It's just like 1 attack, that's it. I put it at blue, probably more like a blue at being rare, probably more like a purple, but hey, something cool to add anyways. And hey, real quick, if you like homebrew magical items, $1 a month gets you access to our entire catalog. We are moving towards 50 items now, a bunch of different ones. We got weapons, we have got armor, we've got rings, we've got all sorts of stuff. And of course, Star Wars themed items are included in that as well. And then for a second thing, please hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're about halfway there. You guys are doing awesome. We really appreciate it, but getting to that 1,000, that's our first sort of big benchmark. So please hit that subscribe button. All right, and for number 2, we are going to go with the bounty bracers. These are just basic bracers that bounty hunter gets, and it allows them to use hold person once per day. Not super crazy, but there's an attachment slot, and that's important. And feel free to make the DC what you want. I made it 12 because hold person's really strong, but you can do whatever you want with it. And then like if it's more rare, again, just add like 1 to the DC. So with this attachment slot, you can use tinker tools or blacksmith tools to attach one of the very specific attachments to whichever bracer you want to do. It's up to you, it doesn't matter. And there's 4 of them that I've made. Feel free to add more. First one, hold it out, boom, it's a net launcher, really simple. The individual getting hit by the net needs to make a DC 12, either Dex or Strength, depending on what you want to do. Dex is to just knock them prone. Strength is to keep them grappled, so they're stuck where they're at. And a higher rarity, I'd allow you to do both at the same time, but on a basic one, I make you choose. And these are all bonus actions and recharge at dawn, by the way. They are once per day things, that's why they're bonus actions. Second one, pretty much just flamethrower, right? If you want a bounty hunter bracer, you need a flamethrower. That's like bread and butter, no doubt. Mine is effectively, again, once per day. You can use Burning Hands at level 2. Feel free to add that to level 3 at a higher rarity, or level 4 at the highest rarity, and then make the DC a little bit higher, because this isn't crazy damage. It's really useful, but not insane. I would say like 13, 14. 13 actually sounds about right. But again, use your discretion. Grapple hook, shoot out 30 feet, pull yourself forward, pretty simple. I like, in combat, however, what you can do is shoot at someone's leg and like trip them up. If you want, you might not want to as the DM. I think it's cool, but I understand if you don't. Like a little scorpion, like get over here, and then like athletics via athletics, almost like a ranged grapple. And if you lose, like the player gets pulled, I think that'd be really cool. And they just like, they lose their movement and everything. But the trip and the ability to shoot yourself up 30 feet, that's going to be pretty useful. And again, once per day, I would just say like it's elemental energy or something. That's the reason they can only use it once per day. That's me. The last attachment I added were the little seeker missiles that they use in Mandalorian, except I do it so like when you get smacked and go into bloodied, which is 50% of your max HP, it basically shoots a level 3 magic missile, which is 5 darts, and it'll blast into the target that hits you. But if you kill it with, like, let's say you kill it with 3 darts, you get to choose where the next 2 darts are. You don't get to choose when this goes off. It's only when you hit 50% HP in combat. So if you fall and get to 50%, obviously it's not gonna pop off. But this is more of a defensive type of thing as opposed to the rest where they're more utility or offensive. And if you do plan on using these and you think of your own attachments or your players think of any cool attachments, leave them down below. Let other people, know what's going on, because hey, we might be able to improve it, or we might just like it better. Third item, we have to go with some sort of bowcaster, right? And we're going with the crossbow. Make it the crossbow you want, heavy crossbow, light crossbow, even hand crossbow if you want to do it like that. We have it listed as the heavy crossbow, I believe, but you can do whatever you want. And it's very similar, it's an elemental crossbow, similar to the elemental saber. You just switch out the gem depending on what kind of damage you want. And as I said, try to start maybe fire, ice, lightning, and then progress into the higher damages from there. And the advantage of this one, because you can't do saber throw, is Overwatch. I like this. This should probably be a feat now that I think about it. As long as the target is not within melee range, basically when they move, you can use your reaction and pop, just like XCOM. Except in XCOM, well, I don't know. I would say in XCOM you are more likely to miss, but you never know in D&D, you might miss as well. So you can do that up to your proficiency modifier. Again, I like to give people bonus reactions and bonus actions, so why not? Similar to the elemental saber, if you want to switch the crystal, tinker tools, or blacksmith tools, DM's discretion on the DC. I wouldn't make it overly difficult for like just a basic swap, but going from +1 to +2, that would be a bit more challenging in my mind. But you're the DM, you do what you want, and you could even do 2 of these, just pew, 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 pew. Why not? Number 4, you cannot go with a Star Wars thing currently without going some sort of Mandalorian item, right? Yeah, the jetpack maybe, or the jump pack maybe, but we're talking about the helm here, and specifically the striker helm. I like to do the more Spartan style with the visor, but you do whatever you want, obviously. And this one I would put into very rare. It does give you a +2 to your intimidation check, which, as a bounty hunter, that's great. But the more important thing is that this lets you crit on a 19 instead of a 20, or both 19 and 20, which is very difficult to get. There might be a couple of more items, I'm not entirely sure, but it's difficult to get, and be careful handing this one out. Like I said, it doesn't sound like a lot, but think about it this way. A 20 is a 5% chance. 19 and 20 is a 10% chance. That's a huge jump, so be careful. And for number 5, we don't have any type of jetpack or anything like that, so we're gonna go ahead and go with the Gnomish Jump Pack. It can still shoot you up 30 feet, but it can also shoot you forward 30 feet. So this thing's got 3 charges. You spend 1 charge and you can go up, 1 charge and you can go forward. If you do choose to go up, you basically get 2 free feather falls. So you go up 30 feet and then you fall down for free without taking any damage. If you go up the 3rd time, there's no feather fall. So you're taking the 3d6 when you come back down. You're gonna crash down basically. I don't know how much this will be used in combat because you don't hover, you just, and then you fall back down. It's not like you can just jump. But going forward is probably where it would be used in combat. And if you give it out and you get annoyed with it, just have someone shoot it. It'll explode, it'll break, you'll say it's broken. Then they'll probably spend all sorts of time with tinker tools and blacksmith tools trying to fix it, but at least it'll be out of commission for a day or 2 or whatever. All right, there you go. There are 5, well, if you count the attachments, more like 9, but 5 main Star Wars themed items, homebrew items that you can add to your D&D campaign, like literally whenever you want. They're there, use them. I would like to thank our patrons as per usual. You guys just keep coming back, keep growing. I love it. Got to keep moving. We're trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, so if you would hit that subscribe button, that would be real cool. I'd really appreciate it. And if you are one of my $5 tier ones, you're right over here. I'm gonna start adding streaks. I'm saying it so I remind myself when I'm editing the video, because some of you are at your 2-month or beyond that. So thank you, my $5 patrons. I do appreciate you. And that will do it for me. If you liked what you saw and got what you needed, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Later, Gators.